Noor Adam is a freelance journalist living in Eastern Ghouta. He joins us with his experience of life in the region, where he says the ceasefire has brought little consolation to fearful residents. Noor, thank you for making time for us today. We can't get reporters in there. Aid workers can't get into there unless they were already there before the bombardment began. Describe for us the scene around you and where you live. What do the neighborhoods look like?
I am Noor Adam. I am a journalist. I live in Eastern Ghouta in Tarma town. And just today, more than 10 people until this moment killed by warplanes and missiles and bombing from Assad regime and the Russia government. More than 22 hospitals completely outsurfaced just in 12 days. Here in Eastern Ghouta is like Indian humanity. The warplanes did not leave the sky of Ghouta. There is no ceasefire at all, not just for 1 minute.
I'm going to ask you to go a little bit deeper into the ceasefire. So last week, 1 week ago, the UN Security Council went ahead, voted, said we need a 30-day ceasefire. Then Russia said they were going to allow for 5 hours of a truce every single day so that aid and medication could go in, and if people wanted to, they could get out. What has happened in the past week?
In the past week, since the Security Council voted for a ceasefire, that is not true. The Russian government did not stop hitting the building and the towns in Eastern Ghouta. Also, the Assad hit many towns. In just 12 days, more than 600 people killed, most of them children. And since the Security Council voted for a ceasefire, 800 people and 7 people die just in Eastern Ghouta. I mean, in any ceasefire they're talking about. The warplanes did not leave the sky of Ghouta. In the morning, the Assad warplanes, and in the night, the Russian warplanes. And Putin knowing about 5 hours of ceasefire daily, that actually is not true. The warplanes did not leave the sky of Ghouta just for 5 minutes, I mean. The hitting and the killing is still going on in Eastern Ghouta by the Russian warplanes and the Assad government.
Noor, give us a sense of day-to-day life. If you're a family living in Eastern Ghouta, if your children need to go to school, if you need to go to work, are these things even possible? What is life like there?
No, that's it's impossible. I mean, more the schools are destroyed by the warplanes, and the children hiding in the shelter there and their family. I mean, they can't out from the shelter because of the bombing and the missiles. The shops are closed, the streets are empty. People can barely eat 1 meal for the day. It's like it's hell on earth. Nobody can go out to street. There is no food, no water. No place it's safe. Even the shelter, the airstrikes target the shelter and target every building and every neighborhood in Eastern Ghouta.
We're hearing from the International Committee of the Red Cross. They are telling us that they have aid supplies, medical supplies. They're ready. They want to bring it into Ghouta, but they're just not able to get in. How is that aid supposed to get in? Is there any room for people to move?
Actually, no one can move in the street or in anywhere else in Eastern Ghouta. And the people waiting for the aid, like the Red Cross, knowing about aid and medical supplies and medicine. But until this moment, nothing entered. They need to permission from Assad government, and Assad government did not give them that permission to enter Ghouta. I mean, we are under the siege now for more than 5 years. People, their families, more than 5 years.
Noor, forgive me for interrupting, but if the aid and the medical supplies and the food does not come in, how long can Eastern Ghouta stay like this?
We can stay like this, in just 1 month, until the farmer will completely end from the food and I mean, there's no safe water, there's no electricity. I mean, everything here actually, what kind of life is that? I mean, when the farmer ends, people here did not eat anything. I mean, we can barely survive just 1 month or 2.
You have described it.
400,000 people are trapped here.
You have described it as hell on earth for 400,000 people but you're living there as well. Tell me a little bit about your life, your family. How are you guys coping day to day?
It's me. I mean, when the warplanes start hit the building and the towns, I work with the Damascus Media Center. We take our camera and go to document what's happened violent to civilians. We document what's happened and we risk our life to show the world what we really are suffer. And there are civilians defense who try to save the people under the rubble. There's family until this moment under the rubble. The civilians defense and the ambulance cannot save them because the warplanes target that area. I mean, it's more than hell on earth. I mean, what kind of life is that? The hospital target, the shelter, the building, the neighborhood, all spots in Eastern Ghouta target by many airstrikes and many missiles. Just today, until this moment, more than 25 airstrikes hit the towns and cities in Eastern Ghouta. From another side, the Assad forces and the Russia forces trying to break an attempt to enter Ghouta from many fronts in Eastern Ghouta. And people here, they don't want to leave because that's our home. That's we are raising. That's we are raising our children, and that's we are live. We want just to live in peace like any other country. Live in peace and go to school and go to work like any other country. I mean, but Assad and Russia make that impossible for us.